The Howard Stern Show.
When you start to make money and you start to get successful, what's the first thing you buy? I mean, do you go out and get something? I mean, to reward yourselves? After all the years of struggle?
We were on the road pretty much for the last 2.5 years while we were traveling. The one thing, besides going down to like nice restaurants, when we got done, we bought a house in Las Vegas and turned it into a recording studio to record the next album.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we decided to
exciting.
Invest in our future.
Yeah, houses are so cheap there too.
But it makes it fun that you have your own studio. Exactly. You don't have to share it with a bunch of people.
Yeah, and we have a hot tub in our live recording room now.
Our next door neighbors are real deal, 100% dealing all day. People coming in and out. But it's good because we have an agreement. No, because we have agreement that we won't say anything about you drug dealing if you don't say anything about the noise. Yeah. Oh, this is a real thing. I'm not making this up.
Really?
100% real deal drug house. It's not in a great neighborhood. We weren't looking for like the Ritz. We wanted like a good house we could gut and just turn.
So you found a house in a fairly shitty neighborhood where drug dealing
do
was
anything
to. And when they complain about your music being too loud or you're doing a recording session, you say to them, "Look, we're not calling anybody about your drug dealing."
We don't talk about it, but I will say this. Here's how it went down. There was one day I was walking into the studio. One of the guys was standing out front of the house, which they do typically. People will come in and there's like a setup of how they'll bring him into the house. I mean, it's really obvious. I don't know how they haven't gotten caught.
Right.
I guess there's bigger problems in Vegas, apparently.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the guy came up to me and said, "Hey," he like waved me down, and I was a little, trepidatious about going over. He was a big dude. He said, "Hey, I noticed you guys are doing music in there." And I said, yeah, we do a little music. It's just we're a couple small guys.
Yeah, you don't want to let them know.
Yeah, and
you're actually having some success.
Right. And he said, "Yeah, my bedroom's right next to your studio, and I hear your songs, and I like it. He said, "I like it. Great. It makes me feel comfortable." And I said, "Oh, thank you. That's great. That's great." And I kind of just gave him the eye, saying kind of like, "I know what's going on." You know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of I can't explain it, but it was a moment of like, I know what's going on with you. You know what's going on here. We're cool, though.
It's a stalemate.
It was cool. I said, "Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys like. We love you as neighbors.
But
we love you as neighbors."
But why the bad neighbor? Is that part of the band's reputation?
No, we wouldn't have. They've stolen from us and stuff. We wouldn't have moved in there if we would have known.
Yeah, we were just trying to find something. We're not big spenders, and we wanted to have something that's not exactly. We don't want to draw attention to ourselves.
But isn't this part of the band psychology? For example, you guys went to a Katy Perry party, right?
Yeah, he did.
Right. And you purposely didn't pull up in a limousine. Everyone else was pulling up in a limousine and a fancy this and that.
Well,
you walked there, right?
Yeah, we walked there.
That's your badge of like, hey man, I'm a rocker.
More than just penny pinchers. It's not even like it? That's the truth. I'm gonna be honest. It's really, unless Ben, I don't know.
Well, we were wandering around. This was in Amsterdam. We were wandering around the streets of Amsterdam, just exploring what have you, and somebody got an email saying we were invited to this party that we hadn't heard of, so we just stumbled over in this general direction, somehow got past security. It really felt like we weren't supposed to be at the party.
Because I think you guys are successful enough now. You can move out of the drug neighborhood and get yourself a nice studio somewhere where you could maybe be a little happier, and a little safer.
Yeah, but the vibe wouldn't be there.
The vibe is cool. There's a jacuzzi in the main room. We put a mic in it, and you get these weird ambient noises. And the house was made to be turned into a studio.
Well, Dave Grohl seems to feel, based on the documentary he did, that it's very important where you record the album.
The vibe has to be right.
It gives it a certain feel.
Yeah, they were like
sound. Yeah,
it does. If the neighbors were like boring, like 9 to 5, I don't know if it had that feel. You walk in and it kind of feels like Vegas, like real Vegas.
Did you stick the drums in the hot tub or something when you record?
We drained the hot tub and stuck a mic down there and recorded a lot of stuff down there. The echoes are really.
Well, first we had the spawn. It overflowed one day while we were recording, and it was really scary because you have all these amps and stuff, and the water just started to kind of like go out onto the ground.
You could have died. You could have had electro.
The studio of our dreams.
Right.
The Howard Stern Show.